It's Friday and I'm at home and it's been such a chill day. I've had one of those weeks where I've had loads of free time but also no free time and I need to catch up on a bunch of stuff. Number one on my list is to film some more content, more yoga content. So what I've done before is I book a studio. I've done this twice. I'm not an expert, but I book a studio and I use it for a couple of hours and I bring outfit changes and like block the content so that it can be used over a couple months on Instagram and TikTok. But I haven't had time to do that. So I'm just gonna film at home in my living room, which isn't the most spacious, but I'm hoping that I can make it work somehow. So yeah. And then after that, I need to clean. I had some people over for my birthday last Saturday and I put everything back where it belongs, but like didn't fully clean. And now it's getting to the point where it's pissing me off. So flowers are dying. There's candle stains on the tablecloth. Like I just can't operate in this environment anymore. But yeah, that's me. How cute. I had to do a quick outfit change because the other top was just, I was becoming overstimulated by all the exposure. So I'm in something way more modest. I didn't even do that much. I'm so tired. I think it's because I have worked out today. This is what I'm going to tell myself. I already exercised today. I exercised a lot yesterday. Mama needs some sleep. Mama needs some rest. Yeah, I didn't even do that much and I'm sweating and tired. So time for lunch. Then I will clean. I promise I will clean my flat. I promise. Well, okay, it is 9:50 p.m. and as you can see, I'm already in bed. I am not even tired. I think I'm just trying to snuggle into like the cozy season. I taught my two classes, which were great. One was a regular flow class, and the other was a nurturing flow class, which is at hotpod yoga. Basically, a class that's kind of flowy but very slow, more like deep stretches, and everything stays kind of low energy wise, like you don't come up to standing at all. And I love it because it always makes me feel primed for sleep with a long shavasana at the end, especially. Like the vibe is just very chill. So I'm just going to write my to-do list for tomorrow, just go over my class plan again and double check everything. And that's it. That's it. I didn't clean my flat like I said I would. I got sidetracked with a few things. I was posting so much on my Instagram that I just kept receiving messages about teaching opportunities, like branded content opportunities, which is all great, but I basically got sucked into the vortex of social media. But tomorrow I'm waking up early, teaching my two classes, going for my microneedling appointment. Then I will come home, clean everything, probably have a nap, and find something good to watch. That's my plan. Let's see how I get on. All right. Good night. I just got home from my microneedling appointment and it was so incredibly painful. Am I being dramatic? Maybe. It was painful. It was like little needles being dug into my skin. Microneedling. It's kind of a literal name for a treatment. But yeah, it was really painful. And the serum that they use to do the treatment creates a bit of a paste. So I was warned that I would look like this. Like it looks like PVC glue / just white cast. They also put SPF on after the treatment just to protect my skin from the sun. But I'm happy I did it because it's been something I've been talking about for ages and I'm older now. I should take care of my skin. I'm hoping that it actually works. The woman who did my treatment, she gave me a very long spiel at the beginning, which was very useful because I love as much information as possible. But she warned me that if I was trying to use microneedling to remedy pigmentation, like hyperpigmentation or areas of like discoloration, it might have the opposite effect if they go too deep, where your skin heals itself again and produces melanin very quickly. And I mean, I think it's something that mostly affects people who have melanated skin, so people of darker skin tones. But I was a little bit annoyed because I was like, hello, I came here to fix my skin issues, not to potentially have more. But she gave me a few products that can help counteract that or at least mitigate the risk of it happening, which was great. The place I went to was called Tweak East in kind of like Mare Street near Broadway Market kind of area. But it was very cute. It was a little bit hidden, so it took me a while to find it. But once I got there, it was very intimate. And it's only one person in there at the time. So the woman who was doing my treatment, it was just me and her who had the whole space to ourselves for the hour, which I really appreciated because then we could talk as much as possible about the treatment, but then also just get to know each other a little bit. And she also said that most of the people who work there have NHS jobs. I guess she means like doctors or nurses. So it seems to be sort of a medical focus to skincare, and they have the ability to write prescriptions for drugs that you might need to cure acne or whatever the skin concern might be. So it just made it feel like there's extra care being taken and it's not just like aesthetics or trying to fix skin issues at the surface level, but really getting to the root cause. I trust them. I've already booked my next appointment because they recommended a treatment course of 3 every 4 to 6 weeks. So my next one is in, I think, 5 weeks' time. And hopefully I'll do another one in January and then my skin will be perfect and brand new and I'll look like a fetus. I've just emerged from a nap. You know, one of those naps that you have where you're like, oh, are we in a different day, a different month, a different universe? That's what's happened to me. But my flat is a mess, okay? And now I have a surge of energy just to like clean everything, get everything sorted. I am gonna do that now. I promise, like, you'll see. So today has been the longest day of my life, maybe. I started off by waking up at 8 a.m. on a Sunday, which I think is always a bad start on the weekend for me personally. I love a line on a Sunday, but it came with a purpose. So the whole Bicester village of it all was very appealing. But yeah, I met my sister at 10 a.m. Okay, met my sister at 10 a.m. to drive out to Bicester village. The drive was an hour and 40 minutes. I didn't do any driving, so to be honest, who am I to even complain or discuss? But I was disappointed once I got there. I came with big ideas. You know, it's not a controversial statement. I came with big ideas. I wanted a Bottega Veneta Joe D bag. And I've wanted it for a while, and I thought, hey, it was my birthday. I should get myself the bag that I've said I've wanted for like 3 years, 4 years, however long it's been. I don't even know. I've lost track at this point. It's not even really relevant or important. But I got there and they were selling them for £2,400. I choked, really. I choked. And all of this is to say, I didn't get the thing that I said I wanted to go for, which is fine. I kind of knew that if it was going to be too expensive, I had a backup option that I'm definitely going to go for. And I'm actually quite excited about the purchase that I'm going to make once Black Friday sales are announced. But it was a pleasant day nonetheless. Quality time with my sister, catching up. We had lunch at Ottolenghi. Well, I had lunch, she had coffee at Ottolenghi, which I haven't been to in so long. And I got a new scarf, which I can actually show you. I got a new scarf from Hackney Studios. And full disclosure, I kind of regretted it as soon as I did it, you know? I was like, oh, it just feels like it's done. Anyway. It's gorgeous. A lovely purpley, lilac-y blue, gorgeous, warm, thick scarf. And this was £135. I feel like that's a good price, okay? So I got that. And then I picked up some Aesop hand cream. And that is honestly it. The most tame and chill trip to Bicester Village, I think, of all time. I did find a belt that I love. I'm not a belt person, but I'm trying to become a belt person. And I think that's really crucial. And I think it's going to be really important in my next step into womanhood, a belt collection. They were £260 though. And I just thought, I don't even wear belts today. So, you know, who's to say I'm going to wear a belt tomorrow? So that was the trip. Then we drove back. There was some traffic. I was super hungry, so we stopped at M&S Food. I ate in the car. We listened to Dave's new album. And then I had to do a quick change. Well, I didn't have to, but I dropped my stuff at home very quickly and then headed back out to the Booker Prize shortlist reading with a couple of writer friends, okay? And it was lovely, actually. I've been going every year for the last 3 years. So this is my third time. In different words, this is my third time going to the shortlist reading. But every time I leave inspired, I feel like I understand the writing process way more. And I feel closer to the authors in a way because it's actually so vulnerable. I mean, I know this anyway, but it just reinforces the idea that it's, you know, increasingly and extremely vulnerable for writers to put out their art in such a direct way. Of course, there's things like metaphors and things that can be left up for interpretation, but the words are the words as they appear on the page, and I think that's powerful. And I'm a huge fan of Katie Kitamura. I read Intimacies and then auditioned shortly after. And I think she's one of my favourite authors of all time now. I think the way she views the world, the way she talks about the interior mind, the human condition, how we engage with people, our relationships with people, how that's an extension of the relationship with ourselves, but in like a complicated and less in a complicated and more nuanced way, is what I'm trying to say. And there were some authors who completely sold me on the idea of their books. Like they weren't on my radar before, but I added them to my Goodreads reading list on the way back. And that's basically been my Sunday. It feels like actually I didn't do that much, but at the same time I'm so tired. And luckily I'm working from home tomorrow. So I'm going to go to Pilates in the morning and then come home, get some work done. And then I'm teaching yoga tomorrow night after work. So I want to come up with a new flow. I'm not feeling particularly inspired. Like I've been practicing way more than I usually do, which usually is a good start in terms of me coming up with a new flow. But I feel like I'm kind of just obsessed with spinal mobility. I read one quote on Instagram that said, "You're only as young as your spine is mobile." And I really ran with it. I said, say less. I'm going to focus on twisting and back bending and forward folding forever. But I need to break the cycle now because I'm worried that my students will start to get a little bit bored. Not saying that, they don't appreciate just moving their bodies, but I'm just mindful that I want to make the practice feel well-rounded, especially for my regulars who come every single week, and push them in a way that feels good, but also focus on mobility, not just the spine, but in general, especially, hips is a key focus, leg strength to support the lower back. I could get into a whole thing. So yeah, I'm going to spend some time tomorrow thinking about potentially coming up with a new flow for the week. And the way I usually do it is I come up with a theme and then I start to build my flow around that. And it all kind of happens quite naturally. And a lot of time I just spend time on my mat and I just start moving. Or sometimes I just hold some of the postures that I know I absolutely want to include in the sequence. And then the rest starts to follow from there once I kind of enter a flow state, as it were. So I think I'm going to just spend some time doing that tomorrow afternoon, like during my lunch break. And yeah, so yeah, gosh, I just love yoga and I love teaching and I love sleeping and I love resting. Okay, I think that concludes my weekend. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I hope to do more. And let me know what you want to see. Good night.